views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. All right, good evening, good evening, y'all. Forgive me for my camera. I was sitting here prepping for the show, and all of a sudden, I ran into something. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody. How y'all doing? Linda Sanders, how are you? Thank you for checking in. As always, it's always wonderful to see you. You guys, we got a really interesting subject matter for the evening. I'm gonna we're gonna address. Actually, I got a bunch of stuff I need to address. In the meantime, while I work on this other situation, which I don't know. I really don't know what the hell happened here, but we're gonna get it figured out. We're gonna get it worked out one way or the other, as they say. Um, so right quick, y'all. Yeah, in recent um weeks, we've been having some rather vigorous discussion about some of the things going on in the community, and y'all, I've been really pressing the issue about us doing better, by one another throughout the community, and it, as usual, has come to my attention that we are being challenged, if you will, in that people are having health challenges. People are getting up out of here. Before I get way too far down the road on this thing, hey, Karen Nichols, how are you? Val Wells, I see you. Let me send my condolences out to Mr. Trent Taylor and his family and the Stepper community. Another Stepper, lifetime Stepper that has transitioned and joined the ancestors. And, that's one of the things that I was hoping we were going to get an opportunity to delve into on tonight. But we had to do some rescheduling due to some other things going on, because we were actually going to have a gentleman on the show tonight, Mr. not Mr. DJ Calvin Hayes. He will be on next week. He is facing some very serious challenges at the moment, and because of that, we're going to reschedule it for next week. But just know that on next week we're going to have Mr. Hayes on the show, because what we're going to do, you guys, and I strongly encourage people to tune in. We're going to do a whole thing where we discuss health and the Steppers community. And I do believe that, it's something we've done in the past, but I believe that we are well in line and due for another conversation of that sort. Because I guess it's been a while. We've done so many other things around the community and talked about so much other stuff, and we've kind of gotten away from sometimes what's important. And we do this stuff because it's necessary for us to try and do the best we can to not only take care of ourselves but take care of each other. And so this is just, I think, an opportune time for us to kind of get away from sort of the playfulness of the dance and move into some things that are, more serious and necessary. Uh, so, y'all, let's get ready to like seriously have that conversation on next week. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it, I guess, off the table uh, tonight, so that we can, you know, deal with the dance side of the game. It's one of the things that I don't want to say it it sort of annoys me to some degree. You guys, I talk about all of the times when in the past when I've done um uh when I was doing the Black Factor and other uh things where we were talking more seriously about politics and things of that nature. I kind of got away from it, not because I don't. Hey, Sheila White, and that's one of my antagonists, one of my people who stay on me about bringing that show back. Let me tell y'all something I saw the other day. Well, actually, not even the other day. Something I saw, I believe it was today or yesterday or early this morning. Someone was on the internet saying that they're now beginning to investigate and subpoena bloggers and people who are speaking negatively about this regime. I don't want to call it an administration. This sort of throwback in 1940s history that we're currently living under. If you don't know your history, you need to go back and check that out. We're watching things play out very much the way they did a long time ago. So because of that, it has become a minefield, sort of, in the things that we talk about. So one of the things that kind of annoys me, and this is just some personal stuff that I'm letting y'all in on, is the fact that when I do things like the Black Factor and now the Forbes report, the attention span of people is very, very short. When we do these entertainment things, because I guess people don't want to be bogged down with the sometimes negativity and all the other things that come with doing that sort of work, and would prefer to be entertained. But the problem is that when we put our heads in this proverbial entertainment sand, we are not aware of what else is happening to our asses that are still sticking out. And so we become targets, we become fodder. And unfortunately, our people, and I really hate to pigeonhole us, but our people are very reactive rather than proactive, and we cause ourselves a lot of problems by being so. And then we always say, well, nothing was going to change anyway, and that's just simply not true. And hell, we would, most of the time we wouldn't know anyway because we don't try to do anything. Kenneth Wynn, how you doing? I see you. Angela Baker, thank you for checking in. Therese Williams, hey. Sherry Kane, I see you. Mr. Reggie Miles in the building conversations. Y'all check my man out every Monday. A lot of history, a lot of good stuff going on. Miss Bobby, 1977, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Let's see. Oh, Money, how you doing? Money Love in the building. I see you, young lady. AAA in the house. Miss Beamer Johnson, how are you? And so because of those types of things, I'm always reluctant. It really bothers me, but that's personal. But anyway, so we are going to have a very serious discussion on next week with DJ Calvin Haynes here on the show. We were going to do it tonight, but he has some challenges. And I'm going to encourage you all, and I don't know how many of you have actually seen it, but there is a flyer out, and it says, I'm going to read it so that everyone is aware. I want to make people as aware as possible because I've said it recently, and I'm going to continue to say it, that we are on borrowed time. A very large majority of us, and many of us don't know where things really are in our own lives, and sometimes we have these tragic ends and these sudden demise, and we just don't know. Nobody knows when that time is coming. and it's not an age thing. I need y'all to really, really, really understand that because I've been seeing a lot of younger people get up out of here quicker than some of these old folks. Um, so here's what's happening. The Steppers community presents a community coming together for one of our own, a special fundraiser in honor of Chicago's own DJ Calvin of the 50-yard line. So if you've been in a 50-yard line on a Saturday afternoon, you already know what it is. And if you haven't, you need to be getting there and you need to be checking my man out because that's what's happening. Deborah Edwards, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Hey, Riri. So free admission on Monday. Now listen to me, y'all. And you're welcome to come in from out of town. Y'all know the 50-yard line ain't that big, but nonetheless. Monday, February 23rd, 2026, from 5 p.m. till 11 p.m. It's going to be, oh, I'm sorry, it ain't at the 50. It's the Grand Ballroom. At the Grand Ballroom, 6351 South Cottage Grove Avenue. If you've never been to the Grand Ballroom, you're from out of town, and you've never been to the Grand Ballroom, this is an opportune time. And I tell you what, I love the Grand Ballroom. It's one of my favorite venues. It's been there a very long time, and it is an excellent, excellent space for many of us to get together and have a real good time. The wood floor is off the chain. Hi. Anyway, DJ Calvin is currently facing serious health challenges, including congestive heart failure and kidney failure, requiring dialysis. He's been placed on the donors list for a kidney transplant. He did not ask for this help. He didn't ask for this flyer to be put out. I want y'all to know that. But as a community, we know it's the right thing to do. Let's come together and show him the love and support he has always given us through his music. And that is a fact. All right, so the supporters of this, Pete Frazier, Andre Blackwell, Lisa Alexander, DJ Samela, Tina Nicole, Ken Bedford, Black Mary, DJ Verdina. Y'all know I can't see. Let me get my glasses. Hold on. See, that's another sure sign when you know you're getting older. You can't see a damn thing. Black Mary, DJ Verdina, DJ E.T. Taylor, Larry D. Fulson, DJ Myron, DJ Cross, DJ Vale, Snoopy King, Maddie B, and Mellow Chris. So, y'all, that's gonna be a hell of a shindig on its own. I'm just putting that out there. We all ask that you keep DJ Calvin in your prayers, and all of the proceeds go directly to him and his family. And there is a Cash App up. It is $sign CROD 1367. Now, and this is absolutely on the up and up. So don't start with the where's the money and all this stuff going. I've spoken directly, excuse me, to DJ Calvin, and I'm gonna just tell y'all like this. Here we are in 2026, and when we, there's unfortunately, there's so much negativity that takes place around this community because of nefarious individuals with bullshit agendas. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, and personal self-serving attitudes. DJ Calvin is not one of those. DJ Calvin, in fact, in my opinion, is one of the most amazingly graceful people that I've ever met. There's not been a time where I haven't seen him reach out and help others. For that reason alone, even if he and I didn't have the relationship that we do, listen, I have no choice. I am compelled. I am convicted. I am charged to be an assist as much as I can to that man and in his life. He is a single parent raising his daughter by himself, and he's not been able to work because of all of this stuff. And I'm gonna just tell y'all like this: whatever you can do to assist me and all of those people that I just named, along with the host of others and other people who truly love this man because he loves everybody. I encourage you. I strongly encourage you to reach down in your pocketbooks, you dig, and help that man out. We spend literally thousands of dollars every time we go to a set. There is no reason on God's green earth why this man of all people should have to want or need for anything during his time of illness. So let's just, keep these things in mind. Um, I'm just saying, you know. So next week, you guys, you're gonna get to hear from him personally. Well, no, I don't have it up. We're gonna we'll put it up. Who is in need of? Yeah. Um, we'll make sure we get. Matter of fact, DJ Calvin will be in Houston in the coming weeks for Miss Beamer Johnson's set over there in Houston. It's gonna be a shindig because y'all know DJ Calvin gonna put the music down. Matter of fact, just for the record, this is somebody who during my DJ journey and my beginnings, and even now to this day, if I need something or I have a question or there's something that comes up when it comes to me DJing, that man didn't have to help me. He had no reason to assist me the way that he has and participate and kick it the way that he has. All I'm saying is, man, look, whatever he need, that's where I'm at with it. That's what I need. That's what I know. If I got it, he got it. That's it. Now and y'all know I done got a little old. I don't like a lot of people, but I like that dude. Don't be laughing. Anyway, so all right, let's get in. Let's get down with the show, y'all. So listen, tonight I saw a post, and I'm gonna call him out. My man, Mr. Bowen, Tony Brick, Chef Bowen, decided to make a post this week, and the post. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. I'd like to read it verbatim. Let me see if I can find this post he put up, because his question was, his statement was that ladies do not like to be turned and spun all through a dance. Wait a minute, let me see if I can. I'm gonna try to find the actual post here. I don't know if I can or not. Because he be active, man. Okay, here we go. Fellas, in the stepping community, women in Chicago. Now, he's prefaced it with Chicago. David Calhoun, what's happening, family? I see you. Michelle Butter Mason, thank you for checking in. Hey, Devlin Rogers, I see you. Sharice Wright, hey. Bernice Newsom Short, how are you? Fellas in the stepping community, women in Chicago, I don't know about everywhere else, but women in Chicago, the traditional in the community, in the thick of it all steppers, do not like 150 turns and spins per song. So this is about to be a controversial topic, I think. And here's the reason I believe so. Now, I'm going to let you guys, I want you guys to chime in. I want you guys to tell me your thoughts on what we're talking about here, because I want to get some input. And part of the reason for me, I'm going to say that the input is necessary is because we have to get some clarity. At least I think so, about where we are in the community and where we may be headed. David Calhoun says he wants to know, is the music I played last week out yet? Yes, it is, David Calhoun. You can find that song. That was, which one did we put out last week? That came out last week? The one that we played. Oh, yeah, Holy Ground. Yes, you can find that on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. It's out there. Melissa Francis, how are you? Yeah, Apple. Yeah, I said Apple, iTunes. Okay, yeah, that music is out. That's a hot song too. That video is hot. Okay, so the question becomes, what is your preference? And I'm speaking to the ladies and even to the guys, because what I found is that a lot of the and I said this before. Now, I don't know if I stepped on some toes. I don't know what happened. I don't know, how people feel about it, but dig this. I've said it before and I will continue to say, people who do a lot of spinning in their dance have no footwork. Now, that's not to say everybody, because there are people who do have plenty of footwork and they also like to spin. On the flip side of this, there are women who love to be spun around all night long. But like Brick said, women from Chicago don't necessarily like it. Now let's see what we got here. Uh Hey Leah, how you doing, dear? Good to see you. Didn't you just have a wedding anniversary? Congratulations, my baby. I think it was 5 years for y'all now. Congratulations on that. Lulu Rivera, how are you? Tim Ellington is in the building. DJ Fly Diva, what's up? The flyest station in the nation. Yep, that's with 2 Y's. FLYY. See, Reggie says, I'm ready. Reggie Miles says, I'm ready to spin or not to spin. That's right. You already know. I know what Reggie gonna say. Hey, ain't no doubt in my mind how that's gonna go. Sharice Rice says, when a man spins a woman over and over, to me, it shows a lack of footwork, trying to fill empty spaces to compensate for not having it. Now, I agree with that. Sheila White says, I prefer not to be spun, especially in 4-inch or 5-inch heels. Also, the older some get, their equilibrium may be off. Absolutely, I agree with that too. Now I'm glad you said that, Sheila, because here's where I think the rub comes in. Because many of us are getting older or have gotten older, I think that we are more conservative in our dance. However, because we have younger, newer people coming into the community who enjoy the vigorous activity of being spun and doing multiple spins, is that going to change the dynamic of the way we deal with the dance? Is it going to change sort of the landscape of the dance as we know it moving forward and into the future? That's a, question. That Tony Brown Huff, how are you, dear? Thank you for coming through. She says, especially wearing heels, it's not fun being spun all night. Arjnell Anderson, how are you? And I don't know how women do it, to be honest with you. There are times when me and the producer lady be playing around and she say something like, let me lead. And she'll spin me around and I'll be like, hey, hold on now. I ain't doing all of that. I believe it was Ginger Rogers, Fred Astaire's partner from many, many moons ago, who said, women have to be twice as good. We have to do everything that the man does except backwards and in high heels. So fellas, that is food for thought. That's something to think about when you are taking it upon yourself to pretend as though you're driving a vehicle. And I've seen guys dance with women. They look like they're driving a car, like they operating all the controls, just doing it and not doing nothing themselves. I've literally seen men practically stand in place and just do all of this puppeteering, marionette. I call it puppeteering. They're like puppets moving around. Lulu Rivera says, I have had motion sickness from the time I was a child, so I'm not a fan of spinning. I have to focus on in spot my spins based on dancing partner. Sheila White says, I try to control my dance and respectfully give them a heads up. Please do not spin me too much. That's seriously, that's a Chicago thing, because it's been like that ever. I remember, and I've told y'all this shit 1,000 times, when I was younger and I was coming up in the game, and the older women, and I'm going to say particularly from the Reggie Miles era and before, the women that I would dance with from that time period, they always would give that sort of warning to us young guys, like, hey, you got 2 turns, that's it. If you couldn't do nothing else with them after that, you was in trouble, because they wasn't going. Now, I remember, for those of you who are new to the community, may she rest in peace, my girl Janice, boy, when you try to spin her and she didn't want to spin, Janice will put the brakes on you, Jack. That's something that I haven't seen many instructors teach. There are some out here, a lot of the ladies who know that dynamic, and they will teach a woman how to control her dance to the degree that she does not even allow doesn't put herself in the position for a man to just kind of take over and do whatever he wants. You know, it's one thing now, and this is also a sort of a not only an etiquette thing where the men are concerned, but also a thing of mutual respect on the floor. Um, and the thing of it is, when that happens, it gives women an opportunity to take control not of the dance, but at least of themselves to some degree. Reggie Miles says the spins and turns are not new. I got that. The newer generations have made spins and turns their way of life. Oh no. I agree, 100%. Um, Terrence Shorty say that karate hot kick, that karate hot block. LOL, yeah. That's funny. DJ Barry Hylick in the building, the legendary man himself. How are you, DJ Barry? So yeah, you know, this is one of those things. No, Reggie, I absolutely agree, and you're right. You know, the turns and the spins are not new. It's just that, and then also a lot of stuff that, again, I think this has a lot to do with, um, to some degree, age and agility. You know, and I can tell you right now, I personally ain't trying to do all that. Of course, I never was. I never was a big spinner. That's not a thing. I think lately in recent years I've done more of that than ever. Um, Jacqueline Denise Jones says, I don't mind spinning, but not the whole song. Riri says, as we get older gracefully, we have medical conditions like vertigo, dizzy spells, etc., but we still love to enjoy our time out dancing. I will let people know to grab the hands. Thank you, men, for taking that into consideration. We appreciate you. Very good, Riri. Absolutely. Um, Leah Edwards says, I do not like to be spun around all the time. For one thing, I get dizzy fast. I would like to just keep it on the floor and groove and keep it sexy and cute. Yes, I'm from Chicago. Thanks, B, for the anniversary love for my husband. And I absolutely tell him I said so too. Martin Don says, I like footwork. They can have the spinning through the whole dance. Reggie Miles says, remember, I got crucified for 9,875 turns. Yeah, I remember that, Reggie. Matter of fact, I think I made you a T-shirt to go with that. Reggie Miles came down to visit us here in Texas, and we were laughing and joking about he got roasted for talking about these 9,875 turns, because he did address it in that time. That was about 5 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, Poppy, the producer lady, made him breakfast, and we laughed about it, and we put him together a little T-shirt said 9,875 turns, because that was the number that was put out there, and that number still stands. So, and Reggie Miles says yes, and we named the brother Spinning Benny. And you're right, Reggie. And the funny thing is, like, but here's the thing: the fact that you could name him Spinning Benny meant that those spins were unique to his dance, so to speak. But I also will go out. I will go one step further and say the Spinning Benny wasn't his complete dance, and I bet you he had way more to his dance than just the spins. The spins were icing on the cake. Unlike today for some of these folks, because they just spin and spin. Like I said, I've seen guys, I literally have watched men stand flat-footed in the floor and turn a woman through an entire dance. I have seen that. So the question now becomes, is spinning, is it about control, musical timing, or just showing out? Which one? Do you, ladies, prefer a smooth, controlled turn, multiple spins that make people watch you, or do you just like to take it slow? Let's get some feedback on that. Dr. Butterfly say, I like turns. Yeah, we know you like turns. You one of them people I'm talking about. you like that vigorous dance, you know what I'm saying? Well, you got people that have come from other dance communities as well, especially from around the country. And when they do that, especially when they come from swing out and other and two-step and other dance genres that have a little bit quicker tempo than stepping, they tend to enjoy that part of the dance. But their steps are in their dance are a little different than stepping. Even though we have a very um, understood pattern, we also leave a lot of room for freedom. Where with them, their steps are way. I think personally, I think they're more deliberate and more rigid, if you will. Now I've seen. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some cold swing out two steps and some other dances, but I mean, really get it in. But their dance is, a little different. So, um, let's see. Dory Payne says no. If he starts out spinning, then that pretty much the whole dance. My experience. hmm Okay. Let's see. The originality of the dance is the footwork, not all those dang on turns. This is Latanya McCullough Tyson. Yes, I agree with you, Tanya. Latanya. The man does all this footwork while making the lady look classy and sexy as he leads her in the dance. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies, have a nice footwork too, which does not include all those turns. Yes, as we are getting older, our dance changes, especially in the heels. And if you are an experienced dancer, you would take note of these things. Men that all they do our turns is camouflage the fact that they can't dance or have no footwork with the dance. Yep, I said it. Well, Terrence Shorty, as a beginner with only a couple of turns, I wonder if my partner is bored with that. Terrence, let me encourage you as a beginner to master as well as you possibly can the footwork and the steps. Nothing wrong with turns, but turns is like it's like embellishment. It's like garnishing, and if you and it's like putting uh, uh, um, seasoning on a turkey that ain't cooked in the middle. Let me do it like that. Um, let's see. Reggie Miles said he got three turns and a pulley in. There it is. Dr. Butterfly says a mixture is cool, and you still have to be on time. Yes. Dennis Howard Hodges, I don't like a gang of turns, just keep it smooth. Well, Pastor D, you from the old school, man. You know how you do the daggone thing. You gotta keep it smooth and mellow and neat. You know what I'm saying? That's the way to do it. Tricia Hatton says, I like them all, especially in variations. Make the dance fun, exciting, and an adventure. Tricia Hatton again says, I especially like when they know how to turn you the opposite way. Yeah. Tim Ellington says them turns wins. Spins and turns, Reggie Miles said they are personal preference, and I agree with that too. Sheila White, I like smooth swag, men that know how to take control. I don't like taking control, but I can. I have and will kindly take control. There you go. April Grant, Chicago stepping style is a dance for the man who can methodically calculate his steps. Just my opinion, but those who engage in just spinning lack forethought in execution of the dance. Bottom line, it's a thinking man's dance. I like that. April Grant, comment of the night. Thank you. I agree with that 100%. It's funny that you say that too, because I realize too, there are, and I want y'all, especially for my new people that are watching the show tonight, I want y'all to pay very close attention to something. When you're watching an experienced stepper on the floor, and this is how you can really kind of differentiate between who actually has the game down and those who are struggling. When you watch some of the guys dance, check to see what moves that they use. You have some people who cannot deviate from certain, I guess, muscle memory, if you will. Then you have other guys whose toolbox is super duper deep, where depending on where they are on the floor, or what's on their mind, or how they're flowing with that partner, they are able to make adjustments, and you'll see something a little different each time, like a sort of just little subtle differences. And I think, those more experienced dancers are always, fun to watch, and that's how you get it in. April Grant said, "Hello, producer lady." Okay, so let's see.
I said 3 turns for me.
Poppy said 3 turns for her. There you go. Lead accountability. And then also too, let me also say fellas, especially again to my newer guys, understand also that this is not only important to learn, but to know when and where, but to also understand that this is also a part of the etiquette of the dance. Because pay attention to something. As a male lead, as a man coming to the floor with a young lady, one of the things that you should be doing when you approach that woman or you have seen that woman dance before and you're watching her, there are things about her that you need to be observing. See, I used to say all the time in angrier times with what I was seeing, I used to talk about how some of the guys conduct themselves on the floor. Ron Gresham says it's all about the footwork on the wood to be smooth and cool. Absolutely. I used to talk about the guys not understanding women, not understanding how to handle a woman. And when I say that, I mean that literally, figuratively, and metaphorically. You, as a male, it is your job, it is important for you to understand how to make adjustments to accommodate her, to pay attention to what her needs are, to pay attention to how she should be moved while you are engaged with her in this dance, in this 3-minute romance. See, some of you guys don't know nothing about no romance, so it hurts you in the dance. There is a parallel. Now, when you will see a woman ready to dance, does she have high hair that if you're going to do turns, you have to get over? Is she wearing a bunch of loose jewelry? Are you wearing a bunch of loose jewelry and she got on one of them knitted sweaters that's going to get caught up in your jewelry? Is she wearing high heels? Have you observed her walking in those heels? Can she actually walk in them before you put her on the floor with them? All of these little small things, I could go on all day. I could make you a whole list of all of these little things. And I know it seems extensive, but then on the other hand, if you're paying attention and you just kind of look, you'll see automatically, you'll know what you're dealing with. You know how to approach the dance, and you don't have to come out the doggone gate swinging. You know, you got people to come right on the floor. Pow, 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 pow. You know, you jackrabbits. Slow down. Give yourself and her an opportunity to get a feel for one another. You know, if this is somebody you've never danced with before, get an idea. Men, it is your job right away to get some idea of what level that lady is on as you begin to dance. And what really makes an exciting dance is when you start out slow and you realize, okay, she can handle this. Okay, she handled that. All right. So you kind of start ramping it up a little by little to what you're going to do. And you begin to blend and you get a vibe, and the dance turns out phenomenal because you all went into it gradually and you went boom, and it just came together. Because you took, and I say took the time, but I'm not even talking about a long time because you only got a few minutes to dance. But I'm talking about the fact that you were observant enough to understand what she needed and you were able to give it to her. That's what gets you more dances. That's what gets you popularity. That's what gets you where people are saying, oh, yeah, dude is cold. And that's how you get in the game. That's how you really get in the game, because you become a chosen dance partner. Wasn't you the produce lady? Wasn't you and Sunshine? Y'all were gonna do a list or something of all of the guys to dance with. Yeah, Sunshine was saying she was going. She started a list. It's not out yet, right? I can't wait for this list to come out. They've got a list of preferred male dancers. Now, I know for some of y'all that might sound funny, but to be honest with you, there was a time when really, if you couldn't dance, you pretty much wasn't getting on the floor. You know, people were way more brutal and way more blunt. And I'm speaking about mostly in the new school generation, because the prior generation, they didn't really give a damn. You know, well, let me not say that. They did. Because fellas, you wasn't getting to dance with them ladies either if you couldn't dance. But things were a little different. There were so many other different subtleties that made the environment different that none of that kind of stuff mattered. We're living in a very different time, and I really want everybody to be mindful that we are not going back to a time in the past, but we have to work with what we have and progress the community the best we can with what we have in terms of the history and what we're dealing with now, and try and marry the two as best we can so that we can all coexist within this community in ways that will benefit everybody. Um, April Grant says those little idiosyncrasies do make a difference. Yes, they do. Absolutely. Reggie Miles says the dudes were doing so many spins and turns, I started telling women I can't step. Dr. Shawnette Haywood said, cool, I like that. You said romance because when I'm engaging in the dance, some people think that I'm flirting. LOL, not that I actually care. Well, we know you don't care, Shawnette, but it's all good. You definitely get into what you do, and that you actually are a lot of fun to watch. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, y'all, Dr. Butterfly, Dr. Shawnette Haywood, congratulations on your wedding announcement. We look forward to you and your new good engagement. We hope you have a great, great wedding and a future with your new man. That's a beautiful thing. Um, Sherry Brown, yes, teach them. Brian, those types of dances are the best, and those are the great leads. Yes, especially from someone who doesn't get to dance but a few times a year. There you go. Margaret, Simple Shoes Ray. Hey, Margaret, how you doing? Good evening. um, April Grant says Keith Hubbard framed it, romancing the dance. There you go. Absolutely. And that is one of those things where it's just being simply mindful. I'm hoping that, and I said this a few weeks ago at the beginning of the year, where I'm really hoping that everything that's kind of coming to the point where we're not seeing as much travel and as much moving around the country in these dances, that it takes it back to some level of purity within the dance. And I would really like to see people become more mindful of what they're doing, why they're doing it, and be a lot more deliberate about it, and not just be on zombie mode, on robot mode every time you get on the floor, because we don't do this. Well, at least I don't do this for that. And I know that a lot of other people that I'm familiar with don't do it for that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been doing it all these years. We wouldn't still be here in the game. I wouldn't still be doing stuff like this show, because I want to see people win. I want to see people enjoy what they do, enjoy this dance and respect it for what it is. People like Reggie Miles, who continuously push the history so that people really get where this came from, and hold on to those very important nuggets and facts, so that as we move forward, we can marry the history, the times past, with what we're doing now, so that we don't go so far off the rails that we lose everything that we built. This has been a labor of love. It's a journey. This is not, and it's a marathon. It ain't a sprint. Even though you got some people that are so hell bent on leaving a mark in this community, here's the truth. You want to leave a mark in the Steppers community? Dance. You don't have to do nothing else. You ain't got to run out here and do all sorts of wild and crazy attention whoring things. You ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is dance. All you got to do is dance and be cold at it. You will get all the attention in the world. You'll become as popular as you want to be. Do that. If you do that, you got it. Anything else? Nah. Reggie Miles said there's nothing new under the sun. Well, I agree with that too. But simple fact is, we say there's nothing new, but the combination of things in concert with one another is new. The small things are not new, but the way have been put together tends to be new, because we didn't have certain dynamics in place historically that would have play into what the old was. So there's that. And that's, and I think a lot of people live their lives hoping that we are going to somehow return to a period. I'm not saying you, Reggie, I know you're not that way, hoping that you always hear people say stuff like, oh, when we going to get back to this and when we going to get back to that? We're not. Nothing is going backwards. Nothing. You have right now this moment. You don't know what tomorrow brings, and you cannot get yesterday back. So you better live for today, because that's what this is. Now, I'm not saying don't plan for the future. I'm not saying don't get better at what you do. All I'm saying is be smart. Work smart, not hard, y'all. Uh, let's see. Now, lead accountability, fellas. Are you actually leading the spins, or are you just spinning her and sending her out there and hoping that she survives it? Because, okay, ladies, tell me if you agree. A clean spin should feel safe, smooth, and on time. She should not feel uncomfortable. Ladies, chime in. How many ladies have had to actually save themselves mid spin because dude was out of control because he let the wheel go? He's like, hey, he's driving you off the cliff. Tell us what it is. Pretty Ricky chiming in. What's up, family? I see you. I see you. Yeah, that's my boy right there. My main man, 50 grand. Church on the move. Ladies, how you feel about that? Let us know. Reggie Miles says, I applaud what the dancers are doing today. I chose not to dance that way. There is nothing wrong with my dance. Absolutely, I agree. Brenda Sanders says, especially if she drinking. Ricky, Pretty Ricky said, I am not the spin king. That's right, Ricky. Ricky smooth, man. Ricky a player. Ricky ain't gonna, man, you ain't gonna catch Ricky out there doing all that. Ricky ain't gonna do what them gangsters do, you dig? My man. Hey, Tina Israel, how are you this evening? She says, I have some spin too hard. Yes, absolutely. Ambassador Kevin Neville's in the building. What's happening, family? I see you. I think I'm gonna beat you up when I see you, man. You didn't call me back. I think you were supposed to call me back. Remind me if I'm wrong. Anyway, now, I've heard most of you ladies chime in, and you say you're not real big on the spins all the time. So, Anthony Antonio Allen says that if the lead can't catch them, don't spin them. Now that's true. You know what? It's funny you say that. That's what you call damage control. Now, if you dancing with if you dancing with a lady, and you literally can't catch her if she fall, yeah, you ain't got no business spinning her. I like that. Now that's a hell of a thing right there. That's coming from a veteran. My man Triple A dropped that gem on y'all. If you can't catch her, don't spin her. Nah. All right. Yeah, I like that. Val Wells says all the lady needs is his finger, and she can control the spins and her balance. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Sherry Brown says, I concur again. When I feel safe in a lead's arms, I'm relaxed and can execute and what they're giving me. And you have a good time. Chevy Smith, how you doing, young lady? Good to see you. I see you over there. Now, there's a professional dancer right there. She be competing and stuff, y'all. Karen Foster, how you doing? She says, I am not a spinner. Karen, when I see you, I'm gonna spin you. I'm gonna spin you like a spinning top. How about that? It's all in fun, y'all. It's all in fun. It's all in fun. Now let's also keep in mind that spins do hit different when they are done in time with the music, when they match the music, the breakdown, the vocal run, the beat drop. All of that is so critically important. But see, you gotta again. This goes back, fellas, you got a hell of a responsibility. You have to be able to be in control. And that music, man, if you're not paying attention to that music, because guess what? The spins are not a bad thing, but guess what? It's so much nicer when you're in control. You can catch her if she fall. She shouldn't be falling, though, because if you're doing all that, it's a problem already. It's just a whole problem. But it just makes it so much nicer when you're in control, you can catch her, and you make sure that the beat matches. That looks good. But you got some folks, they just be doing what they doing. They do what they do, and they be all over the place, all over the floor. Um, Reggie Miles says there is a subtle art at play here, and some guys miss out on the art because they are so caught up peacocking. Mm. Producer lady said, yes, that's true too. Very, very true. If you spin it off rhythm, the people can see that just as well as they can see if you spin it on rhythm. So are they listening to music? Are they counting? What we doing here? You gotta be on point. You gotta keep the whole thing together. You got the etiquette angle, you got the physical angle, you got the psychological angle, you got all the things that you gotta. It doesn't seem like you could do all of this in that little 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever the song is. But fact is, you got to be on your square. You got to be on point the whole time. You got to know. And fellas, a part of this has a lot to do with your confidence as a man. Do you get intimidated by certain women? Ladies, do you get intimidated by certain men? Do you nut up when you get in front of a certain dance partner, or you somebody that you got like, oh my God, this is so-and-so. Oh, I'm nervous. I've seen that happen. People's dance gets weird right quick because of who they're dancing with. Man, you better dance with these people. Don't make no difference. I'm just saying. Don't matter who they are. Brenda Calloway, Ziegler Riley. Baby, you got a whole lot of names. She says, I say no to more turns and spins opposed to dancing. Absolutely, I agree. Leah Edwards says, I thought the man was supposed to compliment the lady and not put them on blast. If that turn is not executed, smoothness always looks good for the man and lady. Yes, absolutely. I wonder though about that. When I think about it, do the guys, and I'm asking because like I know my generation, I know how we did it, but it's like these younger guys, do y'all care like how y'all look? Because I mean, being cool and being smooth was actually a thing for us. You had to be that if you wasn't nothing else. Is that just me, or where are we at on that today? I'm just curious about that. Fellas, chime in. Reggie Miles says, the men forget to dance with the women they're on the floor with, trying to impress somebody else. Dig that. Huh. Dennis Howard Odd just says, what is this? You didn't turn me on 7. Huh? He said, shaking his head. Yeah. See, that's that new school. They got like certain numbers you can turn your partner on, and certain numbers you're not supposed to. 1 and 4. 1 and 4, 1 and 3, one of them anyway. Yeah, that's interesting. Terrence Shorty says, I care how I look, but I also want my partner to look better. Well, you know what, Terrence, that's actually the way it's supposed to be. It like, okay, let's go back to what Reggie Miles said. He said the men be so busy peacocking, right? Yes, there's nothing wrong with peacocking, but you have to remember that while you're doing that, you have a partner that you're peacocking with. So if she don't look good, you don't look good. So you got to make her look good in order for you to look good. And that's your job as a lead, if you care. Jamila Ha says they're trying to impress other men. Uh-oh. Yeah, you gotta, David Calhoun says, I turn you when I feel like it. See, that's that original, baby. You know how we do. But it gotta look good, and that's one thing I guarantee you, my man David Calhoun and Pastor D and Pretty Ricky and the rest of the fellas, them cats from, that era, if they don't do nothing else, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna make themselves look bad. So guess what, lady? You gotta look good. We gotta make sure you straight. That's what it is. Um, Reggie Miles says we often forget that partner dancing is unspoken communication between a male and a female based on call and response. Thank you, Reggie Miles. I like that. That's an excellent breakdown. That is absolutely right. Y'all know what call and response is? You ever um, listen to a musician or two musicians that may sit on stage together? Y'all ever heard this? And I know some of y'all you don't listen to country music, but there's a song. It's called "Battle of the Banjos," or "Battle of the Banjos," I believe it is. And anyway, there's this song where one guy is playing a tune on a guitar, and it goes dun 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 dun, and then you hear the banjo come in, dun 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 dun, and then they do this all through the song until the end when they start blending together and the song comes together and the banjo and the guitar is playing. One is making the call, the other one's making a response. It's the same thing in the dance. When a man makes a call, she has to respond, or she should be able to respond, and she should be able to do it in a way that complements the move that he's made. Excellent breakdown, Reggie. Thank you. um, let's see. Jamila Haas says, what I mean, Brian, is that some are so busy trying to put on that they forgot the woman is there. No. I got you. You're right. Absolutely. Thank you for clarifying for everybody else. But yes, I absolutely agree. Um, Herman T. Holland, thus is H2O out of Houston. This is H2O out of Houston. I be caught in the music and give the dance a star the music called for. That's right. You got to give it. You got to give it to them. You got to give it what the music. You know, that's the fun. That's the other thing too, because we didn't really get into the music side of this. David Calhoun from Deliverance. Yeah, that they played that in that movie Deliverance. They did, but that is a song. That's an actual song. And the thing about one of the dynamics of this entire dance, though, y'all, is the music. The music that makes us feel the way that we do, and gives us, like, think about it. There are some songs that come on and it makes you feel cool. It makes you feel smooth. It makes you feel something, and that feeling translates to your body and your feet. And that combination of you and that partner dancing together in unison and operating as one within that 3-minute span. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's what makes this dance so beautiful. That's absolutely what makes it so beautiful. So yeah. Well, anyway, y'all, we coming up on time to cut it short, but I wanted to put that out there. I want to thank my man Tony Boyne, the chef, Brick, for putting that question out there. I thought it was very intriguing. Or not, I'm sorry, let me take that back. Not question, the statement that he put out there for all to see. And in fact, just by the responses here on this show tonight, ladies don't like to be spun a lot. Fellas, take notes.
We got heels though.
You know, it's we're getting it. The ladies are wearing heels. Some of them been drinking. Some of them have struggles in their own dance. Some of them have health issues. We got vertigo and all sorts of other stuff. So I say, fellas, work on yourselves. Get your footwork together. Get your mind right. Be prepared to give these ladies the dance they deserve. And if you're not prepared yourself, then you cannot prepare them. If you're not ready, you can't go out there and subject them to the mess that you create, or the things that you're not willing to do in your dance to make their dance better. In recent times, I've seen where people who have um, gone from not being the best dancers, and I'm going to say ladies in particular, who maybe have not gone, who have become more better operators in their dance. I've watched them go from dancing any kind of way with anybody to being annoyed with men who won't take the time to learn their part of the dance correctly, who will not operate properly, and who do not understand the etiquette nor the culture enough to give these ladies the experience on the dance floor that they truly want and need. So, fellas, I want you all, let me not say you all, I want us to be the best that we can be so that we give these ladies the experience that they want and that they're interested in, and therefore benefiting the entire community and making things better. Hey, Patrice Robbins, you all late coming in here. I'm going to beat you up. Tricia Hanton, how are you? She says, some have vertigo. Yes, absolutely. We've definitely covered that tonight. So, with all of that, you guys, do not forget. Let me put this up here again. Well, not put it up here, but wait a minute. Let me find it again because I want anyone who is within the sound of my voice who is able. First, let me again say, rest in heaven to my man Trent Taylor. We've lost another lifetime stepper. He's joined the ancestors. Condolences to his family, his friends, and the steppers community. And let me also remind you all that everyone in the Chicago area, anybody that got any love for this man, will be, and that's my man DJ Calvin Haynes of the 50-yard line. Everyone will be in his honor at the Grand Ballroom, 6351 Cottage Grove, on February 23rd, y'all, from 5 to 11. And that is a show of appreciation and support. We are raising money to assist this man in his time of ailment, and we're going to help him walk it through because that's what we do as a community. We got time for all the other nonsense and all the BS that goes on. We spend thousands of dollars every single week going to these different sets, and I think our money is even better spent when we can help one of our own. And I want to encourage each and every one of you to do just that. The opportunity presents itself that we have the chance to help someone who absolutely deserves it. Y'all, I'm real big on appreciation. I'm real big on people doing what they should do in terms of our fellow man. But in this particular case, for this particular man, I highly, matter of fact, y'all need to kick in, real talk. This is somebody who helps everybody. And one thing I can't stand, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I'm real big on integrity, and I can't stand disloyal people, and I can't stand people who don't appreciate those who do for others. And so all I'm saying is let's make it, let's make it a thing. Calvin Hayes, y'all, he's worth it. He's worth every damn dime. I need him here. So y'all help me keep him here. Y'all help me help that man. Help me help him take care of his family, because that's what we doing over here. All right. So Inside Stepping, Brian Forbes, DJ Be Real, call me whatever you want, but we will be doing our part, and I encourage you to do the same. That's for DJ Calvin, y'all. So if you need any information, you can get that off of James Frazier's page. That's Pete. Or I will be posting it on my page, and you guys can, shoot that man a couple of bucks on Cash App. It's going directly to him. I have spoken with him, and everything is on the up and up, so you don't have to worry about whether or not something is going sideways or nothing like that. Just let's just, you ain't got to make no announcements. You ain't got to tell nobody what you did or didn't do, or none of you ain't got to make no excuses. Just do it. If it ain't number $5, if it ain't $10, whatever it is, shoot it. We spend more than that tricking off with this dance. So help him out. All right. And by the way, he'll be on the show next week. We're going to have this conversation. We're going to have a very direct conversation about health and wellness on Inside Stepping with DJ Calvin Hayes next week, y'all. And we're going to talk about music too, because, we can't go without talking music. That's DJ stuff. All right, with that. In the meantime, in between time, I want to tell everybody that I love y'all. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I want you to do the best you can to make your week the best it can be. And we will see y'all next week. Stay tuned for Popping with Poppy is coming. We're working through some of our logistics and getting the little details worked out. As you saw last week, we had a couple of little glitches in the matrix, but we're going to get them all hammered out, and it's going to be a thing. So get ready. Y'all have a great week. I love you. This has been Inside Stepping. I'm your host, Brian Forbes, and we out of here.